The growing migrant crisis here in New York City may put new pressure on President Joe Biden's re-election bid when it comes to big-time fundraising. The situation has some people riled up throughout the city and across New York State. On Friday, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus came here to see the situation for themselves, but they were drowned out by anti-migrant protesters. Here's NBC New York's Erica Byfield with more.
Is to make sure that all the resources are necessary and that we are joining with the city and state.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez struggled to make her point amid all that chanting after she and Representative Adriano Espaillat led members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus through a tour of the Roosevelt Hotel, a location housing hundreds of asylum seekers.
Now, what we saw were children, families, people that want to work, people that are fleeing violence, people that are fleeing environmental disasters.
There were no cameras allowed inside, but News 4 saw the living conditions firsthand a few weeks ago. Outside, all that shouting from the sidelines came from people frustrated with New York's status as a sanctuary city. Within the last year, 100,000 migrants crossed the southern border, relocating to New York City. The city is still providing services to 60,000 people.
These people are cutting the line, and as long as you continue to grant them free stuff, you're never going to stop the crisis at the border.
For months now, the mayor and governor have said that the situation is unsustainable and the migrants must get approval to work to support themselves. The lawmakers from California, Texas, Illinois, New Jersey, and New York all agreed.
They are prevented from getting jobs, they are prevented from employment, and that is part of the strain on our public system.
For now, President Biden is not budging on work authorization, adding to the tension. Members of his administration question why New York's leaders don't have an exit strategy. The lawmakers avoided addressing that. Instead, they said,
we need everyone to collaborate to make sure we are dealing with the issue properly.
Get off of me! Okay.
Friday's gathering did create a little drama out front, but the police broke it up, while the migrants at the center of the debate looked on. In Spanish, a 24-year-old mother told us, we didn't come here to take away anything from anyone.
Nadie viene a quitarle el trabajo ni el beneficio a nadie.
Joining me to discuss, NBC Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley and Zachary Ischol, Emergency Management Commissioner here in New York City. Commissioner, our Democratic Mayor Eric Adams says caring for these migrants over the next 3 years will cost $12 billion. He is urging the White House, the federal government, for help. You are in the middle of all of this. What can you tell us?
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me on today. It's great to see you, and thanks for covering this important story. So the city over the past year plus, has been dealing with a national crisis. This is not just a crisis in New York City. I talked to my counterparts across the country. This is affecting a lot of places other than New York. But in New York City, we have now cared for over 113,000 asylum seekers. We currently have 60,000 people in our care. And this is a crisis that demands a national response. It's not right just to put this on the shoulders of cities and municipalities around the country. Historically, in the U.S., when we have had situations of forced migration, we've always had a national federal response. And it's been almost when you look back on history, a bright point in American history. Yeah. Why do you think things are different this time? I don't know, but it's a great point. I mean, if you go back to World War II and you look at the history of forced migration in this country, and you look at European refugees, 1.8 million after World War II with President Truman. You look at Soviet Jews in the 80s, people like Sergei Brin. You look at Vietnamese boat people, refugees in the 70s, Cuban boat refugees in 79 and 80, Haitians. Every single time the federal government has run a process and a response that was really an investment that paid huge dividends to American society and to the American economy. And right now, I don't know why the administration is absent, but they are not actively leading on this issue, and they are leaving it to local places like New York and others to handle this on their own.
Julia, you just reported that illegal border crossings have been going up this month. We know Congress isn't going to do anything. We know that the administration is taking action. They are on the border. But what are they doing more comprehensively here? We've got all of these cities like New York saying, please help us. We need a federal response.
Well, look, there's a lot of finger pointing going back and forth. I was just outside the Roosevelt Hotel during those protests on Friday. But from here in Washington, I can tell you the officials at DHS I've spoken to are saying that they want to see the city do more to get this issue under control. Some sources saying that it's not an operationally sound effort. They point to the fact that they've given, or at least allocated, $140 million to New York City and over 700, almost 800 million to cities across the border and in the interior of the U.S. who have absorbed a lot of these migrants. They're also working on finalizing a deal that would allow them to lease out part of a field in southeast Brooklyn, airplane hangars where they could shelter 800 migrants. They have ways they're trying to use resources of the federal government. They also sent an assessment team to New York where they looked at how this operation is being run and said they need to do more for case management and to tell which migrants, if they are eligible for work authorization, make sure they know that. They started a text message program. Now, I'm giving you all the bullet points. This is what they would tell you if you had a federal official on here telling you this. But the reality on the ground is it might be too little too late. This has been going on for since spring of 2022. As your guest just mentioned, they've seen 113,000 migrants come through this city. I spent time in their hospital system last week. This is inundating them. This is overwhelming them. And it's getting to a point where New Yorkers see it in their everyday. I saw children there combing through the trash, trying to get bottles that they could sell for money because they're so desperate for a way to support themselves. So I think it's something to watch here, how New York handles this, how the federal government handles what New York is doing, whether or not they take leadership, and how the sentiment on migrants might be changing even among some progressives or people who maybe previously were sympathetic or apathetic toward migrants, how bringing this number of migrants into American cities might change the way some people view what's happening at the border.
Which takes me to my next question.
Can I
for
just
you?
comment on one thing about this really quickly? I've seen real horrors in my life. I fought in the Battle of Fallujah. I was in the Iraq War. Every single day, I could not be prouder of the work that the city has been doing over the past year. It is absolutely remarkable. Housing now, currently, 60,000 people, 20% of them children. That's more people than you could fit in Yankee Stadium. That's more kids than you could fit in Madison Square Garden. This is a lot of people that we're caring for every single day. And in emergency management, I just want to make this one point. In emergency management 101, when the local jurisdiction is no longer able to handle an emergency, you're supposed to be able to turn to the state and the federal government for help. That's written into federal law with the Stafford Act and into, you can see the history of emergencies and the way that this is the way it's supposed to respond. We have been turning around now for over a year, looking for help from the state, looking for help from the federal government, and they're just not there. And there's a lot of finger pointing, there's a lot of blame, as Julia just said, but what we really need is partnership, we need solutions, and we need real leadership coming from Washington.
Here's also, though, the dangerous line that I want to talk about, because Julia was just talking about sentiment from a lot of people who are sympathetic to migrants, or maybe were apathetic in the past. We're at a place where so many of these people want to work, want to pay taxes, that if they don't get processed, well, we end up seeing a lot of these folks in the underground economy, which would be terrible for everyone.
So you're already seeing it. So a lot of people are currently working the informal economy. And I will tell you, having spent a lot of time with the people in our care, all of them, number one thing they want to do is work. They all have a loved one, and we have jobs. We have 10,000 homemade jobs in this state alone. We have 30,000 hospitality jobs, 5,000 agricultural jobs upstate. There's a lot of jobs that could be filled in New York State alone, let alone across the country. But the folks that I spend time with in our care, all of them have loved ones back home. It could be an aging parent. It could be a special needs child that they want to support. And they will do anything they can to support those folks. And so it is critically important that not only for them, but for ourselves, that we make these investments, get them to work, and do the right thing by the people in our care.
It will be good for our economy. It will be good for society. It will be good for culture. What we need to do is find a comprehensive solution.